Hey, what's going on, folks? Today I am going to make some cinnamon rolls. So this is really good. They are relatively sugar-free. You know me, I'm trying to do that sugar-free stuff. There is flour in it though, so carbs get converted over to sugar. What I'm going to do is first start off with 2 3/4 cups, so nearly 3 cups of flour. Go ahead and dump that in there. Perfect. All right. We got to get this butter and milk mix going right now. So what I'm going to do is take a half a stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons. There you go. Slice that there and dump this into a utensil. Now the great thing about this recipe is it only uses 1 stick of butter total. So you want to save that other stick for when you actually make the filling there. So I'm using 1% low-fat milk. What you want to use is either a creamer or milk or both, because the cream is going to make it very thick and rich. So I usually use 1 part creamer. Let me shake this up first. This is caramel vanilla flavored, so there's a little tiny bit of sugar in here, but not much. But I use 1 cup or 1/4 cup of this, and we go ahead and add this in here. And that's going to give it a nice rich flavor and nice rich thick consistency. And then I want to use 2 parts milk. And this is a 1/4 cup, so we should have a total of 3/4 cup. And then the half a stick of butter that's in there. I'm going to put this in the microwave to let it warm up a little bit. While that is going, you want to add the rest of your ingredients. Now I usually mix my dries first. So let's start with this 1/4 cup of sweetener and a half a teaspoon of salt. And let's give this a little mix, because what you don't want to do is have the salt come in direct contact with your yeast. So that's now mixing a little bit. I typically add 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce. And the reason why I do this is to give the yeast something to do, because this does have sugar in it, but it's natural sugar, and it sweetens up the mix. All right. Let's take a look. That is pretty much good right there. So before I start adding my wets, let me go ahead, cut open my yeast here. And I'm using fast-acting yeast here. Real easy there. Let's give this a mix. I'm going to go ahead and add my applesauce to the milk butter mix. Give this a nice little stir. I'm going to rinse out this petri dish here, or this little dish here. That way, I can crack my egg into it. Start cleaning up a little bit. Crack an egg, you always want to crack an egg into an empty dish, just in case you get shells in there. No shells in there, everything's good. Throw that there. You don't want to add your egg into the buttermilk mix because it's warm, and what we'll do is it will actually cook the egg even though it's a low temperature warm. I put the milk in there for about a minute. This was actually really cold milk, so we're good there. So what I'm going to do, turn this off, go ahead and lift this up. I'm going to add my egg, drop it, turn it on, and start adding the milk. Let that mix. Go ahead and start cleaning up here. As you can see, the dough has a nice consistency and it's starting to wad together. Just make sure you don't overwork the dough. You don't want it to start stretching and coming apart. So now my dough is nice and mixed here. So what I want to do is go ahead and lift up the hook, scrape off the excess here. It should come right off here. It's actually quite nice. I'll get that little bit off in there in a second. Now the dough is actually going to be nice and thick. It's going to be a very, almost like a pizza dough. It's going to be doughish, right? A little sticky, but as you can see, I'm scraping it off the bowl on the inside of the bowl here. So you can go ahead and get it all in one big lump. Make sure you have good equipment too. This spatula is pretty rigid, but it's still flexible enough to make way for it. As you see here, I'm just scraping that little tiny bit off. Dough's nice and watered. Very clean bowl, that's the way it should be. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this dough hook off and scrape off what little is on this dough hook. Now, with these KitchenAid mixers, you want to make sure you're using a plastic or silicone spatula. Don't use a metal one on these. Just scrape the coating off. All right, so now my dough is ready. So you can see, and now I just let it proof in a warm area. Do this for about 2 to 3 hours before you roll it out. So just make sure, take all the air out, put it in a nice airtight bowl, and you're good to go. Now we need to make the filling. So we're going to take this other remaining half of a stick of butter, add that in there. The cup there. Then going to take brown sugar substitute. This is Swerve. I love using the Swerve. Splenda does make one, but the Splenda version does have sugar in it. So I use Swerve here. And we're going to take a half a cup of this brown sugar substitute. That's about a packed half cup right there. Again, I love using unsweetened applesauce, so I'm going to put another half a cup of unsweetened applesauce in here. One tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And then I usually chop up some walnuts. Gives it a little texture, makes it a little different. Some people add raisins, but I add walnuts. And this one I just eyeball, but it's going to be roughly a half a cup. Now, chop them up here. Now it's ready for mixing. So I have made the cinnamon rolls, and as you can see, they are nice and plump and have nice little swirls in there. Look at that one. Look at that right there. That's like a perfect cinnamon roll. Anyhow, these are going to be, I'm going to put them into a container and let them rise a little bit more. So here are my cinnamon rolls, and as you can see, they are all in here nice and tight. All I got to do is bake them. When I bake them, I normally freeze these and then put them straight into the oven. So when I bake them, what I'll do is I'll wind up actually thawing them through the baking process, and that helps them grow, because as the oven comes up to temperature, so these will rise and expand and become very luscious cinnamon rolls. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. I got a lot more stuff coming your way, but as you can see, homemade cinnamon rolls.